amazing friend April.
Hi.
As you guys know, I am constantly just coming on and having my clients share their lock experience with you and share their journey. So you're not just hearing about my journey, but you're hearing about their journey as well. So yes, welcome to Loc Talk, and thank you for joining, and thank you for watching and sharing and doing all the things that you've been doing to show your support. I appreciate you. So April,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
tell us about your locking journey?
Well, as you know, this is my second go around with locks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because originally I had traditional locks.
How old were you when you got traditional locks?
I started my locks, I must have been like 19, 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was back when, like,
shoot,
I don't want to date you, but
that was in 94,
that was the 90s?
95. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm dating myself.
So back then, people didn't really know about sister locks and micro locks.
No one was really doing that, And see, I went to an HBCU, so on campus, you seen a lot of the natural looks and everything, but the lock thing still wasn't like it is today. Everybody and their mother got locks. Okay.
And so when we say traditional locks, what we're meaning is your traditional thicker palm roll locks.
Right. Exactly. And actually,
so you weren't interlocking or anything.
No, I didn't know nothing about interlocking or any of that. I just knew that I wanted locks. And
did you start and maintain your own?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. I started, and then I did have. After a while, I did let a lady do them for me because it's exhausting. Trying to do your own locks. It really is. So I did, and then I went back to maintaining my own, back and forth. When you're younger, you don't have the money that you have when you're more established.
I mean, you were what, 19, 20
right.
when you started.
Exactly. So, yeah, so I did start my own, and then as they started to get a little longer, they still wasn't long, but like, when they just started having a little bit of length, I started letting someone do it. Because it's exhausting. Trying to do it. And I got a lot of hair.
Yes, you do.
And
it's thick.
Yes, it's very thick. And I did have, just when it was relaxed, I had long, thick hair. Mm-hmm. So imagine I cut all my hair off. Now I have this little fro. It was cute though. And then it's thick, and I'm like, oh my God. So, and I always wanted to lock, so that's what I did.
So did you say you cut your hair?
I cut all my, okay.
You did the twat?
I
big chop?
I did. Yeah, I'm good for doing that. I did the big chop.
You did the big chop before it was popular?
I did. I sure did. I might have to send you some pictures so that you can put them up here so that people can see.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yes, I did the big chop before that was popular. And in fact, my sister, because our mom had just passed, and my sister asked me, she was like, is there something you need to tell me? Because doing that wasn't a thing, Back in the 90s, you don't cut your hair off and wear it short and natural, and and I went platinum blonde and all of this stuff. Like, yeah, who does that? So I was doing it before everybody else was. Okay. Yeah.
So how long did you wear your locks before you cut them off?
I probably had them, let me think, about 5-6 years before I cut them off. Mm-hmm. And they was like down to the middle of my back when I cut them off. And I used to adorn my locks. Like, I had all kind of jewelry and stones in my hair, just all kind of things, very nice stuff. So why did I cut those?
Because we all want to know. Why
right.
did you cut them?
Okay, so I started going to cosmetology school. I graduated from college, had a baby, and I knew that I wanted to be this wonderful mother that I am, right? And I knew that in my field, it keeps you out in the street. So I was like, I need something where I'm able to raise my son the way I want to without the world raising him. So I needed to do something. I always liked hair. I always did hair as a teenager. So my thing was, let me go to school for hair. So in doing that, I'm doing everything else. I still have locks. But then I started thinking, if I have locks, because again, this is still the 90s, people are going to think that all I do is locks. So I said, let me go ahead and cut mine. And I wanted to, but I didn't want, they were long. And I said, this way people can see I can do a variety of everything. And that's what I did. So here I am. How many years later? Let's see, 20 something years later. Doing it again.
And this time you're still doing hair. She's an instructor. She's a cosmetologist. And when I say instructor, she's a cosmetology instructor.
Yes.
So what made you decide to get them now? Because you're still doing hair.
I'm still doing hair, but I'm established. I've been doing this over 20 years. So who cares
if you have locks?
Yeah. But when you're
like, my clients don't know how to do hair.
Exactly. But in the beginning, when you're first not learning, but when you're first trying to get clientele, you need, you want to show that you can do everything. And I would do stuff on my own head.
You were your own billboard.
Right. Exactly. And back then, there was no social media, because back in the 90s,
they didn't have Facebook.
No. There was no social media. No social media back then. The internet.
I'm thinking when I was in high school.
Yes,
but that's in the 19.
Right, and we're talking about like.
That's in the 2000s.
Right, we're talking about like 97, 98. The internet was just starting. Now I graduated from college in 97, so yeah.
I was in middle school.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So that tells you that there was no DVDs was just starting to come out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So the internet was a new thing. We didn't have the social media and all of that. So everything was basically word of mouth and what you look like. So I had to show what I was looking like. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So if I wanted to do this, sometimes you got to make sacrifices for your career.
Right.
Just like I sacrificed being in the entertainment field, to raise my son. I sacrificed my hair so that I could be successful. So so here we are. I'm loving my locks again. But do understand, I'm the type of person, now I'm not cutting these. This is it for me. But I'm the type of person, I will go long, then cut my hair off again. I don't care, because I can do that. And start all over again. I get bored. But with this is totally different. And let me explain. So, like I said, I had traditional locks in the beginning. So the traditional, this is another problem too. If you want to go to the beach, if you want to get in the pool, if you exercise, anything that slightly gets your hair wet, it's going to kind of unravel.
That's in the beginning phase, right?
Right. And then even after because when it was fully locked, if I want to get in the pool, the part at the root that's not locked yet, I would have to do it all over again. You got to shampoo.
And that's when she said traditional, we're talking about the palm roll.
Right, the palm roll, right. So who feels like doing that? So I would never get in the pool. I would go to the beach, but I wouldn't get fully wet, because who feels like retwisting up some locks? And I had a lot. Like, you see, this is a lot. I think my hair was probably thicker than this back then. So, who feels like doing all of that? So that was another thing.
So that's why you decided this time around, you're doing traditional, interlocking.
Yes, because once I found out, because I didn't know nothing about no interlocking. All of that stuff came about later, as far as, the Sister Locks was there. I remember seeing, in the early 2000s, when I worked in Smyrna, there was another stylist that I worked with, and That was the first time I seen a sister locks, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like hers. I was like, ooh, that don't look good. But
she probably wasn't doing it right.
Well, I don't know who did hers, but I was like, yeah, that is not how that's supposed to look. At least I didn't think that's how that was supposed to look. I'd never seen it before, but I was like, yeah, I don't think that's right. So I was like, I don't think I would want that. But then time went on, and before meeting Pauline, I actually had a client. She's a celebrity, and she ended up getting sister locks. I was doing her hair, and then she decided she wanted to get sister locks. Now, by this time, sister locks are more popular. She got the sister locks, and they looked absolutely gorgeous, and she has a lot of hair too. And I would color them for her and all of that stuff for her. But I mean, they was absolutely gorgeous. So I was like, when I seen hers, I was like, ooh, those are pretty. So then when I met Pauline, and I seen Pauline's hair, and then I seen her clients, I was like, okay, they can look really nice. I mean, I seen my clients, but then I'm seeing other people's who's looking really good. I was like, oh, I might want that. But instead, I did interlocking because the sister locks are way too small for me. Don't nobody got time for that. So here I am with interlock, and I feel free where I can see, again, with traditional locks, you can style them, but these are a little bit smaller than what I had. So I'm able to, if I curl it, the curl stays. Before I used to just keep it wavy because that would be the thing that would last. But I can do many different things with this. I feel like it's you have more freedom to style aside from doing updos or braiding it and taking it out. So if I curl it, my curl will last for like a week, 2 weeks. So yeah, I just love it, and this is like the best thing you could ever do. And don't even care if people don't like them. Who cares? If you like it, that's all that matters. That's the only person who need to like it. Because, people be hating. I'm just saying.
So, I know you said earlier that your hair, your locks, back then, your hair was thicker.
Yeah.
So, can you talk a little bit about, because I know you're on, is it blood pressure medication? No?
Cholesterol. So
that things up. So
well,
you had some shedding before.
Yeah, well, because I'm on other medication as well. Not a whole slew, just 2 medications. But medication takes depending on what you're on. So different medications take a toll on the hair. So not only do you have medication, but I'm also well into my 40s. So you have hormonal changing.
Before you continue, this is someone who's been a cosmetologist for
over 20 years, like
20 plus years.
Yeah.
So go ahead and tell them, because when I tell folks that some medications will thin your hair out, when you go over a certain when you become a certain age, after a while your hair grows less.
It does.
Different things happen to where you're not getting that same vibrant hair growing as fast, thickness and stuff as if you were younger. When you get older,
things
as you age, things change. But people be like, "Well, hey, but go ahead."
So that's I'm gonna explain that to you. So you have to take into account and even when you're younger, if you're stressed out about something, your hair may shed. It may completely fall out. Pregnancy takes a toll on hair. So why? You have a hormonal change. Anything that is changing in your body, it takes effect on the hair as well. So medication, any ailments like thyroidism, if you have fibroids, all of that stuff, hormonal changes. I'm perimenopause, possibly menopausal at this point. That definitely takes a big toll. Why? Because when you're perimenopausal and menopausal, you no longer have estrogen. That estrogen level is low and you're getting more testosterone. So when you get more testosterone, your hair begins to thin out. Some people even experience alopecia. There's a couple of different types of alopecia, but most common is alopecia areata, which gives you that male pattern balding. So when you get less estrogen, sometimes that happens. Now, alopecia can also be hereditary. Okay, so you have to take that into account. So there's many different things as to why we thin. So I have a double whammy because I'm over 40 and I have medication in the mix. So therefore, my hair is very thick now, but it was much thicker, and you'll see.
And I've done your hair even before you were locked, and it was shedding as I was doing.
Right, exactly, and that's hormonal changes and medication. So that was another reason why I decided to go back to locks too, because I'm like, I'm so sick of seeing hair on the floor. And then I like color, so medication and color does not mix. Hormones and color does not mix. So, well, I should say not just color. Medication and chemicals, period, do not mix. So if you have a relaxer, but you want to put a permanent color in your hair, you can do that, but you can only go but so far with that. Because, and this is just in general, even if you're not hormonal, even if you're not on any medication, in general, relaxers and other chemicals don't really mix well. So you're only going to be able to go so far with your coloring. So you wouldn't be able to be relaxed and have platinum blonde hair. Not safely, you can't. You can, and you just won't have a lot of hair. Okay? But to be on the safe side, we don't go that far when you have a relaxer. So that being said, I like color. I don't too much, I could care less if I have a relaxer. So I wanted to do more coloring. And I got tired of seeing shedding. And now my hair is very healthy. So the shedding wasn't due to my hair being unhealthy. It was due to other things. Elements. Right. Plus, I was also stressed out. You know, you take care of your elderly parents. I was taking care of my father. That adds on. So you have to make some educated decisions here about your hair. So I said, let me go back to locks, because I feel like if I go back to locks, it won't shed as much, and I can color. Yay!
And then even if it sheds, it's shedding within the lock. In the lock,
so I don't have to see it. It's not all over my bathroom floor, okay, or in my salon floor, okay. So those things you have to take into consideration, whether you're locked or not, as to why your hair is thinning, why it may be shedding. And now don't think that you don't need to take care of your hair once you get locks, because guess what? It's still hair. Your scalp is still your scalp. Your scalp is skin. So whatever you had going on previously, you could have psoriasis, you could have eczema, you can have, many different skin disorders. That's still there. It's just that now that you've gone natural, it's not going to get inflamed as much because you're not doing as much to your hair. You're not putting in as many chemicals, right? Because the chemicals take effect on the hair. So that's why people decide, let me go to locks, because I won't have so much going on with my scalp. It won't be so irritated. So with that, I decided I'm going to do this again, and I love it. I always loved it. Not like I didn't love it. I like my hair relaxed. I like it natural. I just go whichever way the wind blows. But I really enjoy my hair. Like, I don't have to do much to it. And plus, when you got 1,000,001 people that you're doing on a regular basis, who has time to do their own hair?
Listen, this is my hair. This is
and
what
it looks gorgeous.
Like before I get it done tomorrow.
But it doesn't look like it. It looks good.
It needs a wash and it needs to be done. But in the meantime, it still looks good.
It looks good.
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could still look gorgeous and sexy and all of that, and nobody would ever know you need your hair done. I get more compliments when my hair is not done than when it's freshly done.
I get people tell me that all the time. They say, "Oh, girl, I'm on my way to my retightening. I'm getting all these compliments, and little do they know I need a retightening."
Right.
Your hair with locks, it always look done.
It always looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, but you know, just in life general, you have to take into consideration what your lifestyle is, what is going to work for you.
Yep.
You know, I know this is Loc Talk, but as a cosmetologist in general, these are the things that we take into consideration. What is your lifestyle like? Or is this going to be good for you? You know? So, and again, it's a personal decision. Like when I had my son, people used to ask me all the time, are you going to lock his hair? No, that's a personal decision. I'm going to keep his hair groomed, but if he wants to lock it, he can decide when he gets to be an adult if he wants to lock it. You know? Because I don't believe that, you know, and this is just me, so don't beat me up. I don't believe that, you know, you should be locking your kids' hair, because I feel like that's a personal choice. If they come to you and say, hey, Mom, I want my hair locked, then fine, lock it up. But if you're locking it because you don't want to do it, that's a problem. Just saying. So, yeah, but me, I love locks. You see, I get to color it, and I don't have to worry about my hair shedding because I don't have the relaxer in there. So with a relaxer, and you have low estrogen, you hormonal, you on medication, you're all messed up.
Takes your hair out.
And stress. So, and a lot of people don't realize stress will take your hair out. It will
All
do
the
a
way
number.
out.
And it's not going to do it while you're in the midst of your stress. It's going to do it after you come out of it. So understand that, okay?
And that's why I tell people, by the time I'm realizing something's wrong with your hair, this has been going on
It's
for
been
a minute.
going on. It's been going on. So you always, even with locks, you still want to treat your hair. I condition my hair. Shoot, I may even throw a protein on it just to make sure it's, you know, it's still strong. You gotta take care of your hair. You can't just...
Now, she does all this because she's a cosmetologist,
Yeah, I do.
and she has had locks before. But y'all don't go condition your hair when you're newly locked.
Yeah, not when you're newly locked, because
when
it
you're
will...
newly locked, 'cause April does it. And that's why I tell people, let me make this disclaimer. I come on YouTube. I started this channel to educate people about locks.
Right.
Because I hear so many different things. Oh, I saw this on YouTube. I saw that on YouTube. YouTube is an amazing resource for everything.
Yes.
I call it YouTube University. You know, YouTube University, because you can learn whatever it is that you want to learn on YouTube. However, you have to go into every situation take everything with a grain of salt, because I get a lot of clients tell me, oh, I'm going through this experience. I went on YouTube and this person said I need to do this. No. The person didn't tell you need to do that. That person is talking about their own personal experience.
Yes.
So therefore, this is what they do for their journey. Your journey might be different from theirs. That person who is coloring their hair at week 1 of retightening, installing their hair, they might be doing something extra. Some of them have extensions. It could be a number of different things
that they're not telling you on YouTube.
that they can color it, or, you know, people say all the time, well, locks, sister locks, breaking my hair, locks break your hair, locks thins your hair, locks, it's like, okay, well, do you know this person's lifestyle? Right. Do you know if this person's on medication? Do you know what this person's hair was like before locking? Because some people get locks.
And should never have gotten locks. I'm going to say that.
You know, and it's just like, before they got locks, they had no hair. And they got locks and they got no hair. But now you associate like no hair with the locks. And that's not the case.
That is not true.
So I'm not saying don't listen to YouTube. When I come on here, I give general knowledge, general information about locks. And I might even get more specific. And this is why I bring my clients on here, so they can talk about their own personal experience. Because what will work for one person may not work for the other person. So you have to be wise when you're watching information on YouTube and say, does this pertain to me? Can this
Right.
be applied to my situation? And go from there. So I'm not saying don't listen to YouTube. Heck, I'm on YouTube educating you, and I want you to listen.
But also
be wise.
Take into consideration too your hair texture.
Some people have. She colors.
Right.
She was coloring her hair before she even locked.
Yes.
And then been coloring since she's been locked. Okay? I can't tell her anything.
Right.
Okay? She did have some slippage. We fixed it.
I don't care though.
But so it all depends. So don't go watch this and be like, ooh, April been coloring from day one, so I'm gonna go color.
You cannot do that.
You cannot do that. April is a cosmetologist.
Right. She
knows how to, work some things out.
Right. I can camouflage if I have some slippage.
You
can't.
So when you have, she has porous hair, color makes your hair more porous. And so because of that, it grips and it holds and stuff like that. But some of you guys have low porosity hair. So you're prone to more slippage.
Yep.
And some of you guys don't even know if you have porous hair or low porosity hair. So just when you're listening to someone's experience and journey, just know, ask yourself, does this pertain to me? Can I do that? If not, talk to your consultant.
Right.
But not everything people share on YouTube will apply to you.
Absolutely.
And I shared that just out of love, not to comfort anybody. No, but I just want you to think as you get information, pick what applies to you and move on. Listen with a grain of salt and move on.
Yeah.
Everything that someone shares, because I know when I make comments, even on my Instagram, I will make a comment and say, oh, here's how to know when your locks are mature. And I'll say you will have budding, the curly ends, or your ends are closed. And someone will say, well, I feel some kind of way because my ends are open and I'm all the way mature. My locks are mature. And I'm like, boo-boo, I'm making a general comment. It's not. This is typically what happens when your locks are mature. Typically, your ends are closed. Will some people ends stay open? Yep, my locks are mature, but my ends are open. I cut my locks, and I color my locks, so therefore my ends open up some more. So there are different scenarios. It's not one size fit all. So don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me.
And I'm going to add to that because, like I tell my clients, stop looking at YouTube. Not stop looking at it, but stop.
I need my
you like
I get what you're saying. Just don't wise.
Yeah, because y'all will come in talking about, well, so and so did this. I was watching this girl on YouTube and she did this and she did that.
And her hair was just fine. Okay, that's her hair. That's not your hair.
Right. So stop it. Like the doctor tells me, stop going on WebMD. You WebMD is not going to diagnose you. It's not. Stop going on WebMD. It's fine to look and see, but you can't. You are not the doctor. And I'm known as the hair doctor. So we as professionals, let us help you. You won't have all of these issues if you learn from your cosmetologist. Okay?
And if you're not confident in your person, find somebody else.
I was about to say, it's okay to change. I mean, I've had people change on me. First of all, everybody does not mesh well together. Okay? So it's okay to change. And it's nothing against the stylist. It's just that person wasn't for you. And that's all that's to it. And that's fine. But find somebody that works for you. Okay? So that you're getting what you need. Because at the end of the day, like my hair is healthy. It's gorgeous. I'm going to toot my own horn. Toot, toot. Yes, it's gorgeous. And of course, Pauline helps with beautifying my hair. But, at the end of the day, we went to school for this. We had to study and take a state test. We are the only other profession aside from people in the healthcare field that have hands-on with a client. And when I say that, I mean people in the beauty industry. So you have the massage therapist, you have nail techs, but in your cosmetologist, aside from healthcare, the beauty industry is the only of the industry that has hands-on with people. And because we have hands-on with people, we literally have to learn chemistry, biology, bacteriology, all of that stuff. We know every bone, every nerve. We know this stuff. I teach it. So, listen to us when we're telling you something. My hair is not, you don't see any baldness. First of all, some of it can be hereditary. So I don't have that in my family. But some people have that problem because they do that to themselves looking at what other folks are doing. Stop it. Let's be honest here. Everybody is not made to have locks. If your hair texture is very fine, please don't do it, because then you'll be complaining. My hair is so thin. These locks thin my hair. No. Your hair was already thin prior to locks. So let's decide what's going to work for you. Okay? Okay, so talk to your stylist. And I strongly suggest going to a cosmetologist. I'm not taking anything away. Again, don't beat me up. I'm not taking anything away from people who are certified cystolocticians. I'm not taking anything away from that. But it would behoove you if you go to a cosmetologist who is a certified cystoloctician. Okay? It makes sense, because that person is going to know about keeping the integrity of the hair and scalp. They're going to know about coloring, conditioning, whereas somebody who just took a class and they've never done hair a day in their life and they're just doing cystolocks, installing and retightening and stuff, they only know the process of the cystolock, but they don't understand why the hair is doing this, that, and the next. Okay? So I strongly suggest that you always go to a cosmetologist who is certified in that. Okay? That makes sense. Yeah. Now I do traditional locks. I don't do this. Look, let's be clear about things. I'm just saying that, and again, that is nothing against all of you who are out there, doing your thing with the sister locks, but just educate yourself a little bit more. If you're going to do hair, just go all the way with it. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And that's not, okay, let me do the disclaimer. Like they used to do for Wendy Williams. The views and comments of Wendy Williams are not necessarily the views. Okay, so the views and comments of April Harris are not necessarily the views and comments of Pauline. So I'm saying this only because I really care about people's hair. Okay.
She does take care of people's hair. Like, she's across from me in the suites, and all her clients be walking up out of here, no extensions, but hair down their back, and I'm like, dang, they look nice and healthy. She really does take care of people's hair, and I get where she's coming from, but everybody got to start somewhere. I started braiding when I was 14. And so I get where she's coming from with the whole hair care, because when I started braiding at 14, I just knew the technique. I knew how to braid. Right. I knew how to slay. I knew how to make your hair look right. Did I know about hair care? No. So when people was like, "Oh, girl, this is braided too tight."
It need to be tight.
Beauty is pain.
You want it to last, right?
You want it to last. That's what's going to do. Beauty is pain. Just suck it up, do it. Put some water on it. Right. Put some water. It'll be fine. That was my mentality, because I didn't know about hair care. I didn't know I was pulling out your dermopapilla and the follicles. I didn't know about all of that. I didn't know anything. I just knew I did your hair. It looks good, and people kept coming. Exactly. But lack of knowledge. Yeah. And so I did that for years, and then I took the Sister Lock class in 2014, And then after doing that, you know, clients would ask questions. And I didn't feel comfortable answering questions because I didn't know, I knew how to do hair, but did I know about hair care? No.
Exactly.
People be like, well, what conditioner you think is best for me? I don't know, girl.
I don't know. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you.
I know, there's conditioners for dry hair. There's conditioners for people who are lacking in protein, moisture. You know, it was a whole, but I didn't know all of that stuff. So when you asked me questions, I was like, girl, just, I don't know.
Use whatever conditioner.
You know, and when people be like, oh, I want my hair cut, I want my hair color, I want it trim, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about angles. I didn't know about color. I didn't know about the natural pigment of the hair. I didn't know about all that stuff. So when I kept getting questions, and I'm the type of person, if I'm going to do something, I want to be an expert. I want to know what I'm doing. I went ahead. I said, let me go ahead and sign up for cosmetology school. And I did just that. And yes, it has helped me a lot. Because when I first started doing sister locks, man, when I said I had your eyes like this, because I was making sure I was gripping every strand and stuff. And now I still get every hair in there, but I'm mindful of my tension. Because I know too much tension will break the hair. Prior to that, I just wanted your hair to look good, but didn't think about the end result. You know, and 10 years from now, you know, I didn't know about the damage to the follicles. I didn't know about any of that stuff until I went to school and learned about hair care and learned about the anatomy of the hair. You know, I learned about all of that. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And it made me a better loctician for that. It really did. It helped me to understand how to take care of my clients' hair, how to take care of their locks. So when they have concern, and I understood, oh, okay, as a cosmetologist now doing locks, I see why, okay, when you have Nu Loxx, let's focus on washing your hair, you know, shampooing your hair with warm water or cool water, because hot water relaxes the hair, causes it to unravel quicker, you know. So I learned about all this extra stuff that people are like, oh my God, it's just because I have the two combined. Not knocking anyone that don't have that isn't a cosmetologist, because I myself was not a cosmetologist.
Well, no one started out.
You know,
we all, people who naturally, because I'm gonna say this, you know,
people are naturally gifted with
So this is not doing here. I mean, you could teach somebody how to do it, but for the most part, most of your cosmetologists were already doing hair without a license before. Like Pauline, I've been doing hair since I was 14, but my thing was, now I wasn't braiding because I couldn't braid good, but I was doing everything else. But I think the difference between Pauline and I was my mom had a license. Even though she didn't practice, if she saw me doing something wrong, she'd be like, let me show you how to do that. You know, so I was doing hair without a license before, but it wasn't until I went to cosmetology school where I really learned the ins and out of hair, you know, and that's important. So if you are doing sister locks and braids and all of that good stuff, it's wonderful. But please, just educate yourself more, because the more educated you are, the better it is for you. Okay? And then the more money you can charge, because the more education you have, they're like, okay, he or she understands what they're doing. They're going to charge for your work.
Look at you and be like, I pay for this.
But
right down the street, charging $30.
But do they do what I do?
Does Ray have the knowledge that I have?
And I'm one, because I'm very simple when it comes to my hair. I'm not all needing all that extra stuff. But I also, if somebody does my hair, I still want my hair on my head. So I'll watch and I'll see how somebody is doing hair before I actually let somebody in my head. And then I'm like, okay, he or she know what she's doing. I'm going to try them out. And I'll watch for a long time before I let somebody in my head.
She does, because she watched me for years.
I sure did.
Before she came in and talk about, okay, Pauline, I see what you're doing. You taking care of your client's hair. I want my hair locked. Can you do it? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep. And you know, I'm simple. I'm real simple, but I want my hair on my head at the end of the day. And you see, Pauline has got my hair looking beautiful. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean,
her hair is cute.
She does an excellent job, and I've started this. I think it'll be a year in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you see, just by simply keeping it shampooed and conditioned. Now, I don't do it every week like I used to do when I had relaxed hair.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of let it go like 3 weeks before I shampoo. Well, because I'm busy too, but
you are busy.
Yeah, so I kind of let it go 3 weeks before I shampoo it, but definitely I let it go 3 weeks intentionally after it's been retightened, just because I wanted to be good and set in there. Not that it might be a psychological thing, but
because you do the most with your hair color.
I know, I do. Yeah, so
slap on a color in the
I sure will.
a heartbeat. I'm like,
sure will.
Is it time yet? April? Is it time to
Yep,
color?
I know.
You're like, I don't know, but I'm gonna put this color
putting it on anyway. And if it slips, it slips. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I know I had plenty of slippage because even though it'll be a year in September, it's still not completely locked in certain areas.
Right,
because,
some areas are locked, some aren't.
Right, and like most people, we have different textures in our hair, and I definitely have different textures. It's softer up here and coarser back here. That's just the way it is. So back here is going to let me know, yes, honey, your ancestors are from the motherland. Okay, don't forget, don't get it confused. And up here is going to say, okay, yes, I see that Mexican in you. Okay, and that Native American. Okay, so that's just the way it is,
Yeah.
So.
But we are going to wrap it up because I got another client after this.
I know.
But
right?
for anybody who wants to connect with April, she is also on YouTube. She does Fun in the Kitchen. Well, it's Essence of Mahogany
Productions.
Productions.
Mm-hmm.
It's her YouTube, and with that, she does Fun in the Kitchen. She does salon
chat.
So yeah, she be doing some good recipes and stuff. So y'all know I'm a foodie, so she be bringing me a plate every single time, and I be loving it, child. Y'all want to get close to my heart?
Bring some food.
Bring some food. Yep.
Listen, you should always bring your stylist some food because there's days in here when we are working like we don't really get a chance to eat. So when you out getting you some food and you on the way in here, think about us.
All of it is healthy,
Yeah, we can't be fat.
Because we need to be able to breathe.
Right.
To your hair, right?
Right.
I can't be breathing hard. A
good salad. Yeah.
No, don't bring no salad. Not that healthy. Bring me I love Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, number one. So Yes. Hey, Felicia. We're wrapping up our YouTube channel.
Yes, we are. That's okay. You're good.
Felicia is my next person, y'all. My person.
Yes.
You can stick your head in and wave.
Say hi.
So you're gonna be on our next Loc Talk.
Yes, you are. Yes.
But yes, and I will link her information below so you guys can connect with her. But thank you for joining Loc Talk. But I love y'all and thank you for joining.
Yes, bye.